Hello everyone, I'm Alex, and I'm here to talk about homeostasis in the musculoskeletal, endocrine, and nervous system. First things first, let's define homeostasis. Homeostasis is defined by Britannica as any self-regulating process by which biological systems tend to maintain stability while adjusting to conditions that are optimal for survival. An example of the body maintaining homeostasis is the internal body temperature. If we exercise and heat up, the body will sweat in order to cool our bodies down. Today, we'll focus on calcium and calcitonin, the most abundant mineral in the human body, which is essential to good health and survival. The endocrine system is made up of many different glands. The thyroid gland, which is located on the neck, is responsible for the secretion of the hormone calcitonin. Calcitonin is the hormone that is produced in the thyroid gland by parafollicular cells. It is responsible for regulating calcium and phosphate levels in the blood, keeping homeostasis in the body. An example of this is the inhibition of osteoclasts. When bone is broken down, calcium in the bones get released into the bloodstream. Therefore, calcitonin reduces the amount of calcium released into the blood when a bone is broken down by preventing osteoclasts, promoting homeostasis. An example of negative feedback is the regulation of blood calcium levels. If there is a decrease of calcium in the blood, the parathyroid gland senses this and secretes more PTH to balance the calcium levels and bring the body to homeostasis. This is an example of negative feedback because the effect opposes the stimulus. Calcium and calcitonin also play a major role in the muscular and skeletal system. During the developing stages for humans, we need a lot of calcium as it is essential for bone mineralization, contraction of smooth and skeletal muscle cells, and more. The cells of the parathyroid gland have plasma membrane receptors and they release PTH when calcium is not binding with the receptors. This stimulates the proliferation of bone by osteoclasts. It releases calcium to the blood and PTH promotes the calcium to return to the blood. Lastly, PTH stimulates synthesis of vitamin D, which helps absorb the calcium from any digested food. Calcium is also essential for regulation of nerve impulses. The nervous system is the major control system for homeostasis. When the body falls out of the normal range, the nervous system sends signals to bring the body back into homeostasis. The body's response to injury is a display of homeostasis. Receptors in the skin sense changes, then signals are sent to the brain, making it possible to detect situations that could be harmful. When a cell becomes injured, the CNS sends calcium to the injured cell as protection against further damage to maintain homeostasis. The main role calcium plays in the nervous system is cell signaling, which is the communication process that controls the action of the cells. An example, muscle contraction. In the muscle cells, nerve endings release calcium ions, which bring activator proteins that initiate muscle contractions. Without calcium, your muscles will not be able to contract and relax. This diagram goes into more detail on how calcium is involved in muscle contractions. Since calcium is only obtained through food, it is important that we humans get adequate calcium every day. The Food and Nutrition Board recommends about 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams of calcium a day for the average adult.